Let's do it. This is a Silver 3 Sonya in a great, big, massive Alterac Pass game, and we'll see if we can help out Pike Boo with a little bit of advice or what they could have done. And looks like they're going down the slam build, which is A-OK and excellent at the moment. Or as Cavalier Guest put it, OP. Broken, busted. He believes in the slam build. Every fourth cast of Seismic Sand deals 50% more damage to the primary target and costs no fury. Pretty cool. So we're going to be slamming a Stitches and a Leoric, splashing onto the back line, which will actually happen pretty well because they'll be standing in front of Lily, Phoenix, and Kael'thas. And Leoric actually leaves his body sitting around quite a bit, so he's great for most giant killers as this game goes on. Pike Boo just visiting. We can see their camera here. Just visiting ever so briefly, then heading top, which isn't that big of a deal. We have Falstad here who can help with those camps. I guess maybe we should think about putting ourselves in the bottom lane so you have better access to this here. But if this is Silver Storm League, I don't know how often you'll actually be excused to do that camp, and it's not the fastest camp in the world. So you're just going to get right up on this. Cool. This is kind of the old... This is where people complain about ammo, if you're familiar with that old conversation. Because you would push into the wall, and now your advantage that you just got is just nothing but a bit of wall damage. Whereas before, you might burn the ammo, you might not be able to excuse yourself to go do a camp. Phoenix is going to be real frustrating here. We can basically sit in a bush. And this is actually just fine. Got 2 seconds on another spin, too. So I like this gutsiness. We've actually worked down his shields a bit, too. He's going to do some damage, but you hit. And then a little bit of whirlwind for speed. Butcher takes bottom. Man, I would not want to be Butcher on Alterac Pass. That sounds like a long uphill battle for meat. Back across the lane for a bit of healing. You're doing a good job bullying him. Little scary. So there's that ability spent. Okay, we can even read into his build a little bit here. Ride the engage. You got the rage for it too.
Choose a talent.
I guess this is all building dialogue for later on. So what I'm curious to see is, did this communicate to Phoenix anything later on? Are they going to play differently because you had this early game duel with them? Shattered Ground. Increase the length of Seismic Slam Splash by 66% and increase the splash damage to 125% of its base damage. So very cool. So now we can start looking for those awesome slams that go through, penetrate the lane, and hopefully hit the Phoenix. And I think we just saw it there. I think you were all set to go. Locked out of our well at the moment, grabbing that last bit of XP. I'd say go ahead and Hearth. We have Ariel coming in here. Johanna's actually going to soak your lane, so I'd say just get back. Even though she shows up, she's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive to heal you up. Will this equal anything as we go? These are the kind of thoughts we're concerned about right now. Is, are you going to need a well, use the well, get back in the fight, then not have those wells? I mean, here you died, so clearly we can say you should have hearthed earlier. But hey, now we're not in that math situation where we can say, like, your well will be available now. You can fight for the objective pretty hard. Let's take a look at the game state real quick as you res up here. Not a lot of meat, which is expected because Butcher had to go down to the bottom lane there. Doing a bit of a slam build thing. Hamstring, which isn't a big deal. Going in on Kael'thas, which is a great target. Disengage, though. Stitch is turning around. And here's where I'd say in a different league that you should do a camp. However, your team is a level down and not stopping the fighting. So you want to go soak mid. Butcher dies, which is expected because he did not meet his charge kill and then kept engaging. So we all knew that was going to happen. But now we don't have that camp, and Johanna or anybody could have cleared that mid out. We weren't dueling Leoric in the early game, so it's understandable that that hand just hit. Though, of course, wiggling until the hand misses is always a good idea. Johanna's in there real deep, taking lots of damage. An orb for your team. Here comes Butcher, charging Lily. Probably not going to get anything out of that. Here comes Falstad. Big Flame Strike hits with that Giant Killer. The minions in the back, you delay it. All right, nice job. But the minions did the channeling for you there. So you stopped it from ticking, but you didn't have to stand there for any longer. Now we're stuck in this really crazy dance. Good hit on Leoric there. Straight into the spin, though, which I think the slamming immediately would have done the job, but of course you'd be losing that bit of health. So how in Silver... What was it? Silver 2? Silver 3. How can we read into this that you would be able to even go get that camp? Because there's so much opportunity for that camp to just be wrecking mid. There's XP burning in the bottom, which is burning for the enemy side, so I'm not so much concerned about that advantage you would have if you went and soaked it, because then you'd be missing for a very long time. The entire team places themselves in the top lane. Butcher's not in range to get the meat out of the lane, though. So again, we're dancing without a purpose. Okay, well, ooh, so you... Oh, well. That was a good slam. I want to see you slam that Stitches more and bounce onto the back line. Wow, that Phoenix kind of wants you there. Oh, and Ariel can't get these guys up. With the poke of Phoenix and Kael'thas, Ariel's just going to have constant issues. They're all pushing top. Do you leave? Here comes Johanna. Other lanes are being soaked just fine. Stitches takes some shots. You all dodge the flame strike. Here comes Ariel. I don't think there is much you're gonna do here, though. I mean, that might help with repeat offense, which they didn't do. Dribo says, if going slam build, I like camp talent at 7 to help give you a heal so you can keep slamming and going poison spear if I'm leap. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so you did go poison spear, which I agree with. The leap can be some huge delete potential. So let's see how you use it. Right now you're fighting a Lily with Water Dragon, though, which would have been a surprise to you at level 7. But it's a very aggressive build you're going for right now. I think that's a pretty cool idea, though. Battle Rage. 25% more damage to mercenaries, and then you have that heal you can pop. So maybe you can spin less and slam more. That's a cool connection. I like that a lot. Those flame strikes, and in particular, if you're not familiar with what's going on here, it's burn flesh. When flame strike hits 2 heroes or more, additional 8% max health damage. And those are hitting pretty hard. Sure, March the Black King kind of marches him forward, but we really don't have any pressure because, well, probably because we have a Butcher who isn't meat complete at the moment. So yeah, that's a really interesting note. I like that a lot. About the Poison Spear leap. Hopefully we'll have a healthier engage later on where we can actually get that delete. But I am curious about your engage. It's always Ancient Spear straight into Whirlwind, which is probably just an old style of playing. You probably played a lot of Sonya before this slam build became meta. I would wonder if your engages would look stronger if you stood your ground first, engaged with the spear, and then went for some slammies before then turning it back around and going Whirlwind maybe to get out and for the movement speed or to heal. Just because this is so much damage right now. And this is 40 Fury, actually. So we're basically looking at 2 Seismic Slams. Yeah, so like that Whirlwind there, we can say that was really expensive. And Seismic Slam with our Shattered Ground would have continued this push and probably gotten the wall already. So let's cut down on the spins. That actually sounds really fun. I kind of like that. I could play Sonya. I bet that's a hard habit to break. Totally. All those years of spinning to winning. So the camp's done. Both camps are done. There's no real advantage to get. You're both equal levels again. Falstad's farming top. This is all really good, so you're taking it slow. Ariel walks forward a little bit. Johanna's the only one who gets hit. Oh, convection finish, by the way. But hey, we know who we're going to leap, and his name is Kael'thas. Johanna's up on them. There's the charge. Oh, I want to see that leap. I want to see it. Nice. Very cool. But Butcher died. But no surprises there at the moment. 7 meat on that Butcher at the moment. Man, there's a lot of lanes that could use some farming too. Cool. Well, there was an earlier opportunity for leap, as you saw there, following the Butcher's engage. So it wasn't some sort of sweet micro play. It should have been expected based on what the Butcher was doing and his announcement of his charge. Can you get that? No, you can't get that. This is absolutely fine to spin, of course. Oh, the boss was taken. The Butcher and our... How did Butcher get down there so fast that he died again? And Falstad's really into that top. He's going to get it, but he's really into that top. And he's going auto attack build, which I've heard is more powerful if you're good. With the frequent flyers. And then the sustaining wind. Yeah. I'm not familiar. Interesting. Okay. We are not 16 yet, so we didn't have Giant Slammer. Oh, the Ariel may have rezzed the Butcher. Yes, that makes sense, actually. That explains the mystery and the sadness. So they're going to get this one, too. There's very little reason for Ariel to go in there so directly. Oh, Butcher was in there so directly. So what I'm curious about now is, like, how you kind of walked away from Stitches there. I'm curious if you're going to kind of change your tone when you get that Giant Slammer. And I'm expecting you to. As the build comes together, you'll be slamming more and more. I hope you all report him. It just seems like a Butcher on the wrong map right now. You're going to farm some top. Big minion wave in the middle, but there's not a lot you can do into that. I mean, the team is falling apart a little bit. There's a falling sword that's going to be really loud, but not do a lot. You're stuck on a really weird angle, naturally. I understand you not want to go in there. Little spin to get you relocated. Nobody reacted to it. Now you seem like you're stuck on spear cooldown for that Kael'thas leap you want to do. And the leap misses. Not terribly concerned about that in Silver 3 here. I'm just happy you went for it. Now, of course, Butcher makes his call, but you're on cooldown from your leap, so his call isn't going to do anything. And now you're too deep because you followed the Butcher in. However, there should be plenty of armor on the core, and it doesn't look like the other keeps are going to fall. So even though everybody's dying horribly, this won't be the end of the game. And Falstad is still a ways out from Mighty Gust. So Johanna has sort of given up until something hits that's going to make her keep playing. And then they leave? I mean, there isn't that much time. They're kind of farting around in middle, trying to get some minions worked up. Oh, wow. If that hit Butcher, that would have been so sad. Okay, I like that. A committed target. Using that spin for pursuit. You got a body block. Don't break that body block. That was a beautiful body block. Cool. You're going to be okay. And now we have that Giant Slam, which does basic attacks and seismic slams deal an additional 1.5 of a hero's maximum health as damage and heals Sonya with the damage dealt. That's awesome. That's scary. That's a lot of healing. And that would combine with War Paint? Interesting. Healing coming from 2 different sources. Johanna's not tanking for you too much anymore. She's dead. But she keeps engaging so deep, I see why you want to spin so early on afterwards. So you're just sort of stuck using your hook shot to go in, get some rage, and then back out with the spinny speeds. XP's being delivered to y'all. How is Falstad doing? Attack damage? How does this work? Frequent flyer, activate to gain 40% attack speed and tailwind for 5 seconds. Does that tailwind, is that tailwind unturn offable? Grant 0.2 basic attack damage. Hero takedowns grant 0.5. Does that mean he can giant killer freely? Nicely. Oh, there we go. Johanna's with you. There we go. And Butcher's coming in. Oh, it's beautiful. It finally happened. Now here, Sonya mains in the chat. What is the value exchange? Because Pike Boo clearly got a little scared here and went into whirlwinding just Stitches, which would heal for 25% of the damage dealt, which would be about, that'd be 140, so 70. So actually your auto attacks are healing you for more. For 3 seconds. Nearby enemies for 3 seconds. And so what's your auto attack damage? Because I'm thinking spinning is no longer the right call for survivability. You're actually going to heal more based on just auto attacking. And that's based on his maximum health. Rule of thumb, after 16, only hit W. There we go. I like rules of thumb. I like binary choices. This game has enough choices in it. It's nice to just know what you should be doing. Well, that should be a pretty good amount of damage now. Busher should start snowballing into some meat here. And actually, this Chronize might die if Butcher's on charge cooldown. Looks like he goes back into a bush. Oh, is bottom gonna fall to archers? There's one. Yep, bummer. But hey, you know, more XP delivered to us. You thinking about it? It's way too late to think about that. I was thinking about that earlier, though. That would have been cute while 3 were dead. Thinking about it. That'd be pretty neat. Get in there. Have leap to get out. Anyone know why I'm losing 500 points for a loss? It's because you haven't ranked or your uncertainty is very high. So if you haven't played ranked in a long time, it's basically saying we don't really know where your skills are, or have you been off playing like League of Legends or Dota? You might be better at heroes now. So we're going to give you a lot of uncertainty so you move really fast up and down. It's also good for Smurfs and to get them to their proper rank faster. So more spinning. Yeah, so this is kind of our issue right now. It's just that we're spinning too much. We're playing old school. Look at that slam hit too. That damage is massive. Now the movement speed I get, but movement speed is tied to our trait. Using Fury instead of Man, using an ability or heroic ability grants 10% movement speed for 4 seconds, and you got that up to 20%. So it doesn't matter. Spin doesn't actually make you any faster than using any other ability. Now, of course, when you're out of range of, you know, using an ability that is aggressive, it makes perfect sense to spin as you walk. Yeah! Might as well. It's kind of my reason for the yeah there. Just do it. Just keep going. Keep hunting. Sadly, this is during our objective here. I like that. And that's true. It's true. Spin does help you break body blocks. And you can cancel your spin early, correct? You're not locked into it, so you could use it like Diva or Leoric or any of those kind of characters where you go through a character for a certain amount of time make a new body block, cancel it to become corporeal again, and then with your now body block in tow, begin auto attacking and healing and all that. Oh, well, you know, I've done it too. Start up that camp a little bit early. That's got to be hard to get out of the habit of. Just whirlwind when you're scared. But at 40 rage or fury here, that's very expensive. Ignore pain. You know, Sonya mains in the chat, tell me a little bit about Crater. Probably not Composite Spear. But if you're healing yourself so much and deleting so fast with a leap combo, is ignoring pain the way to go? We've been receiving a lot of poke this game. There's Phoenix and Kale Foss and all this sort of business that's just causing tons of pain when we're not in range of hitting people in the first place. Because you can also drop your Crater early. You're not locked into it. With a reactivate, I believe. For the cooldown reduction. That makes sense. Reduce leaps cooldown by 20 seconds. Yeah. Just a classic, the ignore pain. And certainly I've seen ignore pain win more than enough games. No follow-up to Crater? That's an interesting thought, yeah. Butcher would already have to be in there. Falstad would have to be attacking our target here in Silver 3. Storm League. That makes sense. That makes sense. Cool, that's going to be fine. We could even leave that right now and go get up to something else. That's Leework there. Oh, Falstad. Falstad is looking a little spooky. Oh, no, he flew into bush. Good Falstad. Nice job, Falstad. Running the advanced build, too. Oh, what? Why? Oh, I see. I see what he was thinking. He was thinking, yeah, I'm gonna gust him back. Nice sleep. Too much spinning. But I don't want to just sit around. And I like that. You pop the shield there while the dragon was likely to hit you. And then you manage to outrange it in time. Nice slam into spinning, though. So let's not ride you too hard for the thing that we've sort of discovered over the course of this match. You're not going to fix it. You can't hear me in the past while you were playing this game. But I think that's really cool. Oh, that is long... Oh, poor Butcher. Is he done with his meat? He's not done with his meat yet. He only has a little bit to go. I guess Ariel could go res him. Around the corner might be a little dangerous. Actually, we went to go push the lane, though. Okay, and we should have control of that. I heard today there's an additional bug that Falstad's getting increased duration on his Q. That needs to be fixed up. His Q slow. I like all this, though. Let's get back focused on Sonya here. I really like that you're noting how everybody's dead and Stitches isn't going to get an interrupt, even though he'll probably live through a lot of stuff. And so you're just getting in here and getting some building damage. That's great. And you have leap, and ignore pain. So it's not like you're going to be in terrible danger if something were to snag you. Oh, I think you could kill Stitches. I want to see you kill Stitches. Oh, that's fair. Objective's coming up. I wanted to see it, though. But no, it probably wasn't the right choice. Probably bad advice to egg you on. So here, that's an example there where we can slam the lane for faster lane clear rather than spinning on it. All these different facets are coming together. All, says Johanna on her cookie. Just played your first game of Hogger in Storm League. The spin into win, and it makes sense. There's some connections there. Building Fury and whatnot. I can see it. So at this point, I'd say it's Heavenly Sword. Oh man, I'd love to see Johanna catch up to Falstad. I'd love to see you leap what's going on up there. I think this decision here is the wrong one, only because you don't have the minion wave. So you have abandoned your team. If the minion wave was here, though, and not all the way back down here, I'd say you made a fine tactical macro choice. But sadly, it's tough. It's tough to say in Silver 3 because and look at they want to end, but Lily and Leoric both don't want to end. So this is just messy on all sides. Silver 3 action. You're trying to find a place to hearth out, which this is actually going to be just fine. But in an ideal situation there with maybe higher skill players, the gorge happens. Oh, nice. Nice targeting. Back into the spins, though. Okay. I said I wouldn't go hard on that. Everybody sees Falstad get eaten in Gorge, and everyone goes, wait a minute, we have abilities for this, plus Falstad has barrel roll. I'm going to Heavenly Sword. I'm going to leap. And we just all dogpile that Stitches before he can even be taken behind the wall and die in the first place. Plus, there's a Gust on the other side, so if we do save him, and we have Shield of Hope, so there's lots of opportunities here for us to save Falstad rather than leaving. But I totally get Falstad gets eaten. Storm League, Silver 3. You messed up, Falstad. Why'd you get hooked? Why'd you let yourself get gorged? Bye-bye, Falstad. We'll see you later when you respawn. So we're sort of sticking on top of our Butcher right now, who is on Slaughterhouse cooldown. That's where our eyes should be, because Butcher's just simply going to make our leap job, delete job much, much easier. I see what you want to do. There's 2 dead, so it's not a horrible decision. You got Falstad sort of in range. That down there should go... He's still not meat done, but he has most of his meat. Still, without the meat done, though, you're missing out on the reward, which is the rough part. 25% increased attack speed and an additional 125% damage, or 25 attack damage, not percent. Yeah, I think you showed, which kind of dragged him up here. So you're doing this little dance, and I don't think it's a bad idea because Butcher should be done with his meat and should be able to get that, and he did get it just fine. Stitches walks past the minion wave, so you're wiggling appropriately, waiting for your team. The boss is gonna go core with 2 forts up. There's 50 seconds. This is a bit of a gamble. But I bet everyone's a little strung out from this prolonged match and this opportunity to end. Phoenix is out, nice and early. Okay, nice dive. Combo time, sweet. Slamming, slamming, slamming. Our slams could be, so we should be back towards the bottom of the screen here, so our slams are going up to the spawn point and taking advantage of all those length talents we have. But I get you, you're attached. You're attached, you want to win the video game, and 4 people are dead, so you get to win the video game. That looked like a lot of fun. I could play that. I could get into slam build. I really like seeing that. That looked really enjoyable. And I think the poison spear was really, really good. That was a good pickup. And you used ignore pain exactly when you should have. So I think you made some really good choices. Just slam angles and more slamming is basically what it comes down to. And some slight macro choices, like making sure if you're going to push a side lane that the lanes have already collapsed in your favor so you can attach them to the enemy keeps. And there may have been an opportunity to camp in there, but the way Butcher was dying and positioning made us feel like we couldn't actually do that good job stuff. So, gross. I understand the pressure you must have felt to continue to stay in the 5 stack rather than going off and do other things. Luckily, Falstad was all for soaking. So maybe if we see something like Frequent Flyer, we can take a hint from that he's going to be more soaking focused, and we should occupy the other lane that he won't get to. Or at the very least with a Falstad here, just declare he'll go to whatever lane I don't go to because simply he can fly there. So I will go to the bottom lane. I will be in closer range to the Merc camp on Alterac Pass. And therefore, as I rotate up to the objective, I can make it very clear to everybody that I'm like, ping, ping, ping. I'm going to do this camp before I get there. But otherwise, he had this really good in and out style, which I think really favored an older spin build. That is true. Taking the keep opened the win condition. Wasn't that keep, though, at half health already? And I think the boss, with everybody up, there wasn't exactly a time limit. The boss would have been weaker for sure by the time it went through the keep. It would have received some poke. And that would have allowed their backline of Kael'thas with his convection burn flesh flamethrower to get in some decent hits, along with the Phoenix Planet Cracker. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I think, yeah. With this much poke on the team, maybe the boss would have gotten delayed and would have actually been having some issues.